Gurubhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Namo Vishnupadaye Krishnapishtaye Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namani. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paashrata Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama. We started 3.20 to 3.26 part. In the previous shloka 13.22, it was Purusha Prakriti Sthori Bhukti Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Guna Samyusya Sadashat Yunij. Why there are many species? Why there are a lot of unis and then why there are 84 lakhs unis? Because of this, the living entity has various ways of it. It enjoys the life, enjoys with the three modes of natures, and with the association of the inferior energy, which is material energy, basically meets with amongst, right? So it depends on us, the nature we enjoy, the consciousness, right? So whatever consciousness we are getting, we're getting that, right? Then the shloka comes that how the CCTV camera, how the super soul watches us, how the super soul is present, what are the roles of the super soul. The shloka Updashtanumanta cha Bharta Bhukta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Champittu Dehismin Purusha Para. Translation, anyone?
Hare Krishna. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as Supersoul, as the Supersoul. Hare Krishna.
Here, the Updrashtanumantacha, right? He is the overseer and the permitter. He is both. He is both. Yeah? Bharta Bhukta Maheshwara, right? Transcendental enjoyer, right? He is the actually transcendent. We think that we are the enjoyer, we are the Purusha, we are enjoying this Prakriti, we are enjoying this mental nature. But no, the transcendental enjoyer is the Bharta Bhukta Maheshwara, right? He is the Maheshwara, the Lord. The Lord is the Bharta and the Bhukta. He is the supreme proprietor, Paramatma iti Chapman, right? He is the supreme proprietor who exists as Upajaya parameter. He is known as the super soul, right? He is been Purusha Para, right? He is the super soul. This is the shloka, right? Which Krishna is saying that yet there is yet in this body there is another, right? He is not saying that I am, that he is not saying Brahmasmi, that I am Brahmasmi, that not. He is saying that the soul is the overseer and the permitter, right? Because it will be illogical if the soul itself is the overseer and the permitter. That will be illogical, right? But there is another, there is yet in this world another. Updeshan Vantaja Bharta Bhukta Maheshwara Paramatma Chokito Dehismin Purashapar. The individual soul enjoys the activities of a particular field, but the super soul is present as the witness, overseer, Updeshta, permitter, Anumanta, and the super. He is the Paramatma, not Atma. Right? Para means transcendental. Atma and Paramatma are different. Atma is our individual, right? Paramatma is the Paramatma, right? The super soul Paramatma has legs and hands everywhere, while individual soul does. The Paramatma Super Lord, residing within sanctions all the individual souls, desires for material enjoyment, right? So who is sanctioning? Paramatma is sanctioning. The Super Lord, every time he is sanctioning, individual soul is desiring for what? For material enjoyment through three modes of material. The executor is the three modes of material nature. Who is sanctioning but? Paramatma, Supreme Lord. Without the Lord's sanction of the individual soul cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. The individual is the Bhukta, right? Or the sustained, and the Lord is the Bhokta or the maintainer, right? Lord is staying within the innumerable living entity as their friend. Yet the living entity has the tendency to reject the sanction of the Supreme Lord and act independent in an attempt with nature, right? We think that we have independence, right? Minute independence. No, everything is being sanctioned by the Lord. Due to this propensity, he is called the marginal energy of the Lord, right? Now, we are the marginal energy, right? Why the propensity is there? Our propensity is to enjoy, right? But actually, who is having this actual propensity? That is with the Maheshwara, the Supreme. The living entity can be situated either in the material energy or in the spiritual energy. In this life itself, in this part itself, if we are not entangled with the material energy, then we become a spiritual being, right? This itself. whatever, if we are entangled, if we are attached to the material, as soon as we get detached from the material energy, we are contact into the transcendental energy. This life only, this part only, na? If our activity is not linked with material attachment, no material attachment is there, then we are in the spiritual energy. All bliss is there. As long as he is conditioned by the material energy, the Supreme Lord as his friend, the super soul stays with him just to get him to return to the super energy, right? Spiritual energy. The Supreme Lord is a friend, right? Suhradam Sarvabhutanam. So he is the friend, right? He stays with him just to get him to return to spiritual energy. He is waiting. He is waiting that when this person, when the bird on the tree is waiting that when this person will, leave those fruits and look at upon me, then I can guide him to take him back to Godhead. Lord is always eager to take him back to the spiritual energy, but due to his minute independence, the individual entity is continually rejecting the association of spiritual life. We are the person who is it, right? We are like, we are holding the tree, and we are asking some person basically, yeah, help me to leave this tree, but we are actually by our own hands holding that tree. And it is like that. The misuse of independence is the cause of his material strife in the condition. The Lord is constantly instructing from within and from without. From without, he gives instruction as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Right? From the outside, we can read Prabhupada books, we can read Bhagavad Gita, we can read Bhagavatam. From the outside, he is giving instruction through that. And from within, he tries to convince the living entity that his activities in the material field are not conducive to real happiness. From the inside, he is guiding that this is not the real happiness. So that is self-realization. Just give it up and turn your fate toward me, then you will be happy, he says. Thus, the intelligent person who places his faith in the Paramatma or Supreme Person Godhead begins to advance toward a blissful eternal life of knowledge. And as soon as we turn towards the super soul, our the blissful life starts. Ye evam veti purusham prakratim cha gune saha sarvada vartamanopi na sa bhuyo bhijayate. Hare Krishna. Anyone?
Hare Krishna, Bapuji. One who understands the philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth again, regardless of his present position. Hare Krishna.
The philosophy is basically the philosophy concerning material nature, living entity, and the interaction of three modes of material nature, right? Modes of nature, short to attain. So if we know this interaction, that's yes, the Paramatma is I am the only the desirer, right? And what I need to desire, he will know. Because who is the sanctioner? The Supreme Lord, right? Since he is the sanctioner, one can understand, yes, he is the Supreme Lord, right? He is the superior energy, he is the he is the higher energy. One will be able to understand that I am the marginal energy. That's why I am being guided by the more higher power, the higher energy, right? And the modes of material nature are just there just to execute whatever our desire is, right? In this nature, they will know if one knows this philosophy, if one knows this comes to this understanding, right? He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position, whatever position we are in. He will be uplifted from that position. The result of the knowing philosophy is liberation. One who understands philosophy concerning material nature, living entity, jiva, and the interaction of the modes of nature, then he will attain liberation. Right? The result, the knowing of truly understanding the relationship between soul and super low soul is liberation and return to spiritual. Purpose of knowledge: understand how the living entity has fallen into this material world in a precarious condition. Right? We are unable to get out of this because how? Because we have interacted with the material nature. Due to that, certain bondages have come. So how to understand our position? By by the super soul, by knowing that what is the what is the how this living entity and the prakriti, the super soul is entering. ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मनम् आत्मना अन्ये साखेन योगेन कर्म योगेन चापरे. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That super soul is perceived by some through meditation, by some through the cultivation of knowledge, and by others through working without furtive desires. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So three processes Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying that through meditation, through Dhyana Yoga, you can do that, or through Gyan Yoga, you can do that, or through Karma Yoga, you can do that. So three processes the super soul is perceived. The super soul is being perceived through Karma Yoga or Dhyan Yoga or Gyan Yoga? The answer is also given, how to get that knowledge, right? The answer is to that is also given.
Prabhuji, you're not audible.
Sorry, Mataji, Hare Krishna. So, in the nature, the enjoyer and the conscious understanding through various types of yoga. How do we understand to karma yoga? How do we understand to dhyana yoga? How do we understand to jnana yoga? Right? Three processes. So, Lord explained two classes of conditions. Right? The faithful in spiritual life and one who is not. One who is not faithful in spiritual life. Right? The atheists, the agnostics, the skeptics are beyond the sense of spiritual understanding. Right? These are not in faithful and spiritual. It also concludes those who establish the doctrine of monism, the Mayavadi philosophy. Right? That also. So two types of soul, right? Either they will believe in or they will not. So in the spiritual life, three part. The Dhyan Yoga, some perceive the soul through meditation, right? Some through Sankhya Yoga, that is others through the cultivation of knowledge that we are not the body, we are the soul, and there is this Paramatma. I need to see him, right? I need to have darshan of this super soul. There's the Karma Yoga, still others through working without fruitive desire. No fruitive desire, just detached from the Nishkam Karma Yoga. And those are not, there are other kinds. There are only two kinds only, the Mayavadi atheist or the who's having some faith in spiritual life. So devotees of the Lord are the best situated in spiritual understanding because they know that beyond the material nature are spiritual world and supreme personality Godhead who expands as Paramatma. Right? Already you are getting the knowledge. Yes, there is Mahavishnu, there is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, there is Shirodakshay Vishnu. You know that there are Vaikuntha planets. You know that there is Garbhodakshay. There is Goloka Vrindavan in the highest of Param Dhama. The Arjuna which comes confirms that he is the absolute truth. So this we already know. अन्यते एवं अजानतः अज्ञानन्तः श्रुत्वानेभ्य उपासते तेऽपि चाति तरन्ति एव मृत्युं श्रुति परायणः. Translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in the spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others because of their tendency to hear from authorities. They also transcend the path of birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So who are not, suppose someone is not conversant in the spiritual knowledge. He doesn't know how to read. He doesn't know. He doesn't care about. He doesn't, or he doesn't is not literate enough to read. But what they do, they begin to worship Supreme Person about hearing about him from others. Right? Like Prahlad Maharaj, he just heard when he was in the womb of his mother from the Narad Muni, and he starts he starts from there itself he started worshipping the Supreme Person, right? The Devhuti Mata. And directly, just upon hearing. So Shravanam is being kept at the topmost by Prahlad Maharaj because if you hear itself, if you just go to the Bhagavatam class, you know nothing. If you don't know how to read, nothing. If you don't know the Sanskrit, then it is also not an issue. If you don't know the translation, that is also not an issue even, right? Even the Bhagavatam shlokas, if you hear the Bhagavad Gita shloka, if you hear, that is also transcendental. It will help you a lot in spiritual life, rather than not hearing. Right? Just like hearing also, it is nectar. It is nectar to ears, and it is the advancement in the spiritual life, right? So even in the book distribution, some people rejects that. Okay, we don't want Bhagavad Gita. So what some devotees do, like at least hold this Bhagavad Gita in your hand and say one time Hare Krishna Mahamant, right? Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, or just Hare Krishna you say, right? Just that. So Srila Prabhupada tells that even if one touches Bhagavad Gita, right, touches Bhagavad Gita and say Hare Krishna, even by the touch of the Bhagavad Gita, then also his spiritual life has started, right? But it is just the weight of the time that it is just with the time it will tell that when the seed will grow up, right? It is just with the mercy of the Lord. But the mercy is the spiritual life has already started, right? Just by touching, right? Because generally during distribution, you go and say that is just give us the printing cost, just give us the printing cost, that's all, you can take this, right? So the spiritual life starts from there itself. So a common man, if he is a good soul, he can advance by hearing, right? The hearing is the way, because the first class devotee starts by just by hearing. Second class by seeing. Third class by experiencing. Right. So there are three classes of devotees. So first class by hearing also he starts. Second class he need to see something, but then he starts believing that okay, yes, people are dying. Yes, now he starts believing yes, this is a problem. But some by experience only, they get. So in the Kalyug, most of us are only the third class. We are we are below that in itself, fourth class. After experience also not coming to the the supreme personality content, surrendering to the supreme personality, right? So common man, if he's a good soul, he can advance by hearing. A hearing process, Shravanam is very important. So what we are doing, Shravanam, we are doing hearing, we are listening to the Bhagavatam class, we are listening to the Bhagavad Gita class, we are listening to various lectures of Prabhupada, we are reading, right? We are doing Hare Krishna Mahamatra, so we are chanting, doing Kirtanam and Shravanam both simultaneously. Lord Chaitanya preached Krishna consciousness in the modern world, right? He gave great stress to hearing, right? Great stress to hearing, just hear. Lord Chaitanya emphasized on hearing the transcendental vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So not normal vibration, rather, these are transcendental vibration. On hearing from realized souls, gradually worship of the Supreme Lord follows. By Srila Prabhupada, when Srila Prabhupada was there, then the hippies basically they started hearing this transcendental vibration, right? So this they get converted. They gradually started worshipping the Supreme Lord. Although the common man is often not as capable as so-called philosophers, faithful hearing from authoritative persons will help one transcend this material existence and go back home to God. That's why we listen to the books. That's why we read the books of Srila Prabhupada. He's a pure devotee, and we listen to his lectures, right? We read his books from authoritative persons, right? So by that, what happens? We will transcend this world, right? We will go back to God. 13.27, 13.35 is the section F. Then Jan is Chakshu, the last part, the vision of the knowledge. So one who sees super soul, living entities, material nature, right? All three things in their proper perspective, right? Sees through the eyes of one wants to know that yes, there is soul, there is super soul. Both are different, right? And there is material nature, which is which is three modes of nature. Prakriti is also. यावत् सञ्जयते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावर जङ्गमं क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विधि भरतर्षभः. हरे
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. O chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So whatever we are seeing, the moving, the living entities, the non-moving, right? The hills, the mountains, the whatever things that is being created, it is just the combination of field of activities and the knower of the field. Are two persons are the knower of the field, right? The soul is the desirer, and the three modes of material nature are the basically the field of is acting. The prakriti is the body also. The body is also the field of activity, and the materials which we are using. For example, this person is making telescope. So this telescope has been made just because out of the combination of the field of activities, which is the kshetra, that is body, and this material, and all the material, right? Panchamahabhuta, the field of activity, the kshetra, field of activities, and the knower of the activities. So knower of the field is two-person knower of the field, right? First is the soul, right? His body, but everything else is the super soul. So it's just the combination, right? The soul has some desire, and there is the prakriti is there, which he will exploit, and super soul will sanction that thing, and then he will be able to execute whatever thing is there. It is all logical, right? The moving, non-moving, whatever is there, it is just the combination of the field of activities. And even the moving person, the person is also the combination of the knower of the field and the field. Knower of the field is soul, and the field of activity kshetra is the body. So the living entity also is a combination of that, and the non-living, that this telescope is also the prakriti is also there, and the super soul is also there. So it is just a combination, right? So whatever is created is but a combination of the living entity and material nature. Without the touch of the superior nature, the living entity nothing can grow. Right? Because it is said that Vishnu one just stared, impregnates with his eyes only. He sees, and the life comes into manifestation in the earth. So there are many manifestations like trees, mountains, hills, which are not moving, and there are many existences which are moving, and all of them are combination of material nature and superior nature, the living entity. The interaction between the material nature and superior spiritual nature is eternally going on, affected by the Supreme Lord, control of both superior and inferior energy. The material nature is created by him, and the superior nature is placed in this material nature, and thus all these activities and manifestations takes place. Right? This is basically prism. The spiritually desired person can distinguish between spirit and matter in all circumstances. Right? What is moving, what is not moving, he can differentiate whatever is seen in existence. Right? So only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field is moving and non-moving. Right? So we are basically into the prison of the material rules, right? So there are rules, so prison rules are there. There are some warnings also, right? If you do that, you will get this punishment. You will do that, and there are prison rules, but you need to get out of it. So you need to basically, know that how to, what are the janma karma chamedi. You need to know that what is the who is the super soul. You need to meditate, and come out of it. समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्यश्व अविनाश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति. Hare Krishna. Translation, please. The one who sees the super.
Hare,
Hare Krishna. Yes, Madhuri. Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna, one who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul is ever destroyed actually sees.
Hare Krishna. So here also Sama Darshana Pandita, right? So one who sees super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, right? The Sama Darshana Pandita, how he sees that the individual soul is is seeing the individual soul is in everybody, and super soul he has one has the individual soul and the super soul in all other bodies. Right? Super soul is the common factor. Understand that neither the soul nor super soul is ever destroyed. Right? He understand that what is the characteristics of the soul, right? What is the characteristics of the soul? Right? He knows that Dehanusman Yatade Komaram Yomane Tatadayantavad Dhirasatamani. He will not be bewildered by that changes, right? He knows that Hanyate Hanyamane Sharire. Right? That the soul cannot be destroyed and is not be killed. Right? So he will be in a full confidence that this soul and super soul is not destroyed. So he will have some other Shina Pandita, right? So he is seeing that what is there actually inside them. Right? So one who sees that, he will have no trouble. One who sees the indestructible super soul, always accompanying indestructible soul in all the body, is actually the seer. So he is in actual knowledge, right? So such vision is possible by good association with the real knower of spiritual subjects, right? Because if sadhu sangha is not there, we cannot start the bhajan kriya. Then the nishtha will not come. Anatravati will not come, right? So by the good association only we can do that. So who is the man in real knowledge? One who see things in proper perspective. Body, its proprietor, the soul, and the super soul as the friend, right? So we need to know there is Panchmahuta, the body is there, and there is the soul, and there is the friend who is the super soul. This is the actual perspective of a one who is in knowledge. So those who are ignorant think that when the body is destroyed, everything is finished. Right? So no, the young person is dying, how he is dying, heart is stopping, but heart has no such issues. Right? How the heart is just stopped, right? The young persons are dying, how it is just stopped, right? And if it is stopped, why not the new heart is can be put and then give some some electricity to him and then just start it. No, the soul is needed because if it was so easy, then every heart that has been stopped, it could have been rejuvenated by some electrical process. But some gets rejuvenated, some gets not. It is the indication, right? It is the indication that there is something more to it, right? The soul is there, that's why all the hearts are not getting started, right? So but actually after destruction of the body, both the soul and the super soul exist, and they go on eternally in many various moving and non-moving forms. We can go to moving as well as non-moving forms. Both the super soul and the individual soul continue, they are not destroyed. One who can see in this way can actually see what is happening. समं पश्यन् हि सर्वत्र समवस्थितम् ऐश्वरं न हिनस्ति आत्मनामात्मनं ततो याति परां गतिम्.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
One who sees the super soul equally present everywhere, in every living being, does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus he approaches the transcendental destination. Hare Krishna.
Right. So one who sees super soul equally, right? He is present everywhere equally, right? Equally, not more, not less, right? In every living being, right? He will not, his mind will not tell that this is no, this is a highly, this is high individual, this is low individual. He will see a beggar and then in a very rich aristocratic family. In the same way, he will see a dog and a brahmana in the same way, right? He will not differentiate because he is not degraded in his mind is telling, right, everyone is equal because every living being is having super soul inside him. So he approaches the transcendental destination because what does, in the previous chapter, whom does the Lord, whom does the Lord love? Who he loves, he is dear to, he consider dear someone who is, treating equally to everyone, even the friend and the enemy, right? He loves the person who is not, who is not putting something in delusion state, not in confusing someone, or who is not, doing violence on someone, right? That kind of person basically, being equal with everyone, right? That kind of person he loves, right? Is dear to Krishna. Actual seed does not degrade itself by pursuing selfish desires of the mind. And the mind is, desiring something, but the actual seer, he knows that who is the actual, where he wants to go, where is the actual bliss is in, it is in Krishna. So he will not think of. So that's why the pure devotee does not have such thoughts, because such thoughts have no value to it. If some thought had some value, that's why it was coming again and again in your mind, because you had the confusion that yes, this thought will get me something, will this thought will get me some pleasure. But as soon as you know that this thought is, is zero for me, those thoughts will not come. As soon as you have the thought that Krishna's lotus feet, surrender to Krishna, that the loving exchange with the Krishna, the rasas with the Krishna, the how beautiful it will be to serve Krishna, how beautiful it will be to interact with Krishna, those thoughts have eternal value and eternal bliss, and those thoughts will only come, right? So that is, that is the, the degrading of mind means, right? So what is the current situation of living entity? One has situated himself differently than in spiritual world, right? So this is the, current situation, right? So what is the role of the mind? Mind is generally addicted to sense gratification, which blinds the, blinds the devotion service in the material world, right? Elevation to the material world, right? Blinds the, living entity in the material world. Why? Because the mind is having thinking, feeling, and willing, and it will act through the three modes of material nature. As soon as we act, even with the satoguna, then also we are bounded to this world, right? So when the mind turns to the super soul, one becomes advanced, right? The solution is turn to the super soul, right? Then one approaches the transcendental destination, actual seer. He becomes actual seer. प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः यः पश्याति तदात्मानम् अकर्तारं स पश्यति. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that self does nothing, actually sees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
So this is the body, right? Which is doing various activities. The soul is sitting and the Paramatma is sitting. So one who can see this, all activities performed by body, which is created of material nature, the three modes of material nature is there, right? It is doing that. And sees that self does nothing. One is not doing anything. He is just desiring, right? So he will be seeing, right? He will be knowing that who is the actual doer. Body is made up of the material nature under the direction of super soul, but the activities of body are not his doing. Right? What the body wants, he is not doing. The three modes of material nature is doing. Although the body is made, how the body is made, the Panch Mahabhuta has been made. Right? The actual cause is his only. Ne? Sarva Karana Karanam, he is only. So whatever one is supposed to do, either for happiness, so whatever one is supposed to do, either for happiness or for distress, one is forced to do because of the bodily constitution. Right? So one basically one is a dog, he wants to eat something that he is forced to do. So either for the happiness distress, one is forced to do because bodily constriction is there. The self, however, is outside all these bodily activities. The soul is sitting, right? The mind is, the mind is basically, the intelligence is through the ropes of the mind is diverting the senses here and there, right? This body is given according to one's past desires, right? Now, whatever past desire we had, we have got according to that, and we are as per our karmas, right? Practically speaking, the body is a machine designed by the Supreme Lord to fulfill desire. Right? It is a kind of machine. Just the who is the desirer? The soul is. Because of the desires, one is put into difficult circumstances to suffer or to enjoy. This transcendental vision of the living entity, when developed, makes one separate from bodily activities. One who has such a vision is an actual seer. यदा भूता पृथग्भावम् एकस्थम् अनुपश्यति तदा एव च विस्तारं ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. When a sensible man ceased to see different identities due to different material bodies and he sees of beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception. Hare Krishna.
So the sensible man, who is a sensible man? Who ceases to see different identities, right? Due to different material bodies, right? He will see that okay, this is a woman. Okay, he will see this is a dog, right? He will see this is a elephant, right? This is not a sensible man. Who is a sensible man? Who is not seeing the material body, right? He will see how beings are expanded everywhere, right? Okay, and he attains to the Brahman conception. Now he is at the level that okay, everything is Brahman, right? Everything everywhere Brahman is this, body is Brahman, the Prakriti is Brahman, the super soul is Brahman, the Lord is Brahman, right? So he will see that he will be the sensible man. The one who sees that various body of living entity arise due to different desires of individual soul and do not actually belong to the soul itself, one actually sees, right? So how the body he sees, this was his desire, right? He is in this condition due to his desire, right? So he is, he will be seeing that, actual thing that okay, he is having some particular desire. In the material conception of life, you find someone a demigod, someone a human being, a dog, a cat, etc. Right? By the material conception. But this material differentiation is due to the material consumption of life. It is due to the just is just the it is actually the karmic the karmic activity. After the destruction of the material body, the spirit soul is one. Spirit soul due to contact material nature gets different types of bodies, and one can see this. He attains spiritual vision. Thus, being freed from the differentiations like man, animal, big, low, etc., one becomes purified in his consciousness. Right. So one is differentiating, then you should know that he is not at the transcendental level and able to right, and one who is seeing equally everyone, so he is purified in his consciousness and is able to he will be able to develop the Krishna consciousness in his spiritual identity, right? Then we will know that what was our actual purpose, what we need to do at the Goloka Vrindavan, what was our what is our seva. So vision of actual seer, his activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, right? He sees that all the activities are performed by material nature. The self does nothing actually. When does he attain the Brahman conception? He purified consciousness can thus develop Krishna consciousness. So he attained the Brahman conception, then he can be purified and he can be start with the Krishna consciousness. Right? When does he attain? When he ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, right? Then and thus the absence of any material differentiation because of the different bodies. He is not does not get with the different material bodies. He sees how beings are expanded due to their desires. अनादित्वान् निर्गुणत्वात् परमात्मायम् अव्ययः शरीरस्थोऽपि कौन्तेय न करोति न लिप्यते.
Hare Krishna. Those with a vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjun, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One who has got the vision that everything, everywhere, every person is equal at the super soul level, then he can see the imperishable soul is transcendental, right? Eternal, right? Sat and Chit it is there and beyond the modes of nature, right? Actually, it is the beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled, right? Although the material body is there, actually he is not the doer. Right? The Krishna is clarifying that the three modes of material nature are actually the doer. The soul is not the doer at all. The soul has not done anything bad. The soul has not done anything good. It is actually the material body which is doing it. It is actually the material nature which is doing it. Is actually the three gunas which are doing, right? The soul neither does anything nor it is entangled, right? The soul is pure. It's always pure, right? In any part of the, even one is going to the narka, and there is, there is this yatna sharir one gets, right? In order to just, purify the body, soul has this yatna sharir. It doesn't decays in even of, a lot of miseries also. So that kind of sharira one gets, right? So no, various, it is all due to the, it is all just to purify the that body, that, but the soul itself, the energy itself is always pure. Krishna is saying the sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading, right? Sky is, everywhere, but it is not, mixing. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in that body. Right? So like the sky is not mixing, similarly the Brahman vision also not mixing with that body. Air entered into the water, mud, soul, whatever else is there, still it does not mix with anything. Similarly, soul is not mixing, it is not insoluble. Right? That's why the characteristics in the second chapter we learned that soul is insoluble. Right? Similarly, the living entity, even though situated in varieties of bodies, is aloof from them due to his subtle nature. Therefore, it is impossible to see with the material eyes how the living entity is in contact with this body and how is out of it after the restriction of body. Right. So, because the question comes, right? If we take out the heart, we do the transplant of heart. Where is this? How? Why this? Living entity, the jiva, the Brahman, the soul is not transferred to the other body. Right. The question will come because it is transcendental. Right. It is transcendental. You cannot, this subtle nature is there, the sushma is there, the mind intelligence body is there, mind intelligence false ego is there. Similarly, the subtle nature of the soul, transcendental nature of the soul is there. It is transcendental, right? You cannot you cannot like pick it up, and you cannot measure it up, right? That's why the characteristics was shown by the, so was talked upon by the Krishna in the second chapter itself. So in the later chapters, and again the soul and super soul will come, and you will know the characteristics of the soul. And it is not measurable, it cannot be picked, it cannot be cut. You can do, physical activity like here, you cannot. So no one in science can ascertain this, right? Yata prakashayati ekah krishnam lokam imam paraviha kshetram kshetri tatha krishnam prakashayati bharatah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay.
O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all the universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here the Krishna gives the example of the sun, right? The sun alone illuminates the universe, right? The sun is illuminating this Milky Way galaxy, right? This Milky Way, it is alone this universe, it has been illuminating, right? Similarly, if the consciousness is there, the life symptoms can be seen, similar to the medicine. The medicine you send to the stomach, then the effect of that is felt in the head. Effect of it can be felt in the hand. Effect of it can be felt in the leg, right? Similarly, the illumination is similar. So similar to consciousness, the soul is also like similarly, right? The living entity is also the living entity, one within the body, illuminate entire body. The living entity is what? The soul. Here the living entity is soul. So Kshetram Kshetri Tatha Krishnam, right? It is, it is all the Prakashyati Bharata. Everywhere, everywhere it is illuminated. The consciousness can be seen, can be judged, or can be, practically realized by this. क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञो एवं अंतरम ज्ञान चक्षुषा भूत प्रकृति मोक्षम च ये विदुर्यान्ति ते परम.
Hare Krishna. One who knowingly sees this difference between the body and the owner of the body and can understand the process of liberation from this bondage can attain the supreme goal. Hare Krishna. Also
Hare
attains to the supreme goal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here also here also what it is saying, that the body, that between the body and the owner of the body, who is the owner of the body? The owner of the body is the soul. It is the soul, and it is the who is more there. Super soul is there. So the owner, the actual owner is the super soul. The marginal owner, jiva is there, the soul is there, right? So no one is seeing the difference between the body. The body is Panch Mahabhuta, body is the material body, it is there, and the owner of the body is different. The Kshetra and Kshetragya, right? So who knows these between two things, and the process of liberation, one should know that why I am entangled in this body. Why? Because it is necessary. Because The soul is Satchitanand, right? It is far more transcendental, it is far more purified, it is far more better than this body, right? It is all blissful. And just because of this body, this with this body relation and all these things, we are into the misery. And no one likes misery, right? So one who comes to this understanding that there is misery, then he will come to understanding why there is misery. Then he will come to know that okay, there is body that who is causing this misery, right? Why this body? Why this, why this body of again and again birth is coming, again and again death is coming, again you Kaumaram, Yovanam, Jara again and again is coming. Why it is not eternal thing? Why it is not eternal? But you are eternal. Actually, you are eternal. So if there is eternal body, then should be eternal activities should be there, right? So one needs to come with understanding that okay, there is this body, it is causing misery. Okay, then who is thinking about this body? Right? It is not the mind who is thinking, it is not the intelligence who is thinking. Who is thinking about that? The soul is thinking about that. Yes, there is problem. The soul has now come to an understanding that okay, there is this body where I am entangled. Now I need to get out of it, right? From this the process of liberation from this bondage. Then he will go to this Bhagavad Gita or the class of liberation, right? Some he will read about it, some he will do some karma yoga, some jnana yoga, some dhyana yoga, right? Three processes, Krishna is saying, right? Or the best process in the 7 to 12 chapter is the Bhakti Yoga, right? From there, he will come to the process of understand the process of liberation from bondage, right? If he comes to this understanding, he will understand the process. Then he will start, okay, I need that best body, which is the spiritual body, right? That is intelligence, right? That is intelligence. What will happen? He will reach the supreme goal. What will happen? Shanti Rachati, right? He will attain the peace, he will attain the peaceful nature, he will attain the original nature of that soul, which is the eternal servitor of the Lord, right? So this is the chapter, this is the knowledge that we get from this chapter, just to understand that there is this body, there is this super soul, and we need to get out of this in order to meet directly the super soul, directly the Krishna, so that we can serve him, right? This is all we get from this chapter. So as the sun is situated in one place, illuminates the entire universe, a small particle of spirit soul, although situated in the heart of this body, illuminates the whole body by consciousness. So we are what? Many places, very Mayavadis also say the consciousness is there. The consciousness is there, right? Consciousness is the proof of the presence of the soul, right? The relation of the soul can be done by consciousness. A sunshine or light is proof of the presence of the, because if light is coming, the presence of sun is also there. So when the soul is, because many times the clouds are there, right? But the light is still coming. But what do you know then? When the sun is there, the presence of the light is itself is the is the proof of the sun. So when the soul is present in the body, there is consciousness all over the body, and as soon as the soul is passed from the body, there is no more consciousness. Consciousness is just a symptom of the living body, a living entity. Consciousness of living entity, although qualitatively one with the supreme consciousness, is not supreme because the consciousness of one particular body does not share that of the another body. Right? That's why we are not the supreme, because we don't know what is happening in others' heart, right? So super soul situated in all bodies as the friend of the individual soul is conscious of all the bodies, right? So that is the difference between the supreme consciousness and the individual consciousness. One verse, seeing with the eyes of the knowledge, jnana chakshusha, what happens, the difference between the body and the knower of the body one gets, and the process of liberation of the bondage and the mental condition. What will happen? Result, you will meet Krishna and attains the supreme goal, Krishna. So this chapter elaborates the distinction between the body and the owner of the body and super soul. Three things, right? Recognizing process of liberation described in the verses 8 to 12. One can reach the supreme destination. One should be in good association to hear of God, right? We are in association with the Prabhupada books, right? With the Bhagavad Gita, with the Bhagavatam, transcendental knowledge. Except one should accept our spiritual master to learn to distinguish between the matter and spirit, and thereby attain spiritual realization. That's why the spiritual master, because every living entity has, differently he will be realizing, right? Right? Because it is one's personal exam. The death is one's personal exam. So the process to attain the thinking to attain the, everyone will realize differently, but one has to, the goal should be similar, the process should be similar, right? And the sambandha is similar. The sambandha is similar means we are all the eternal servant of the Lord. The details may be different, right? One is the as a eternal servitor as a rasa, as a Sakya, one as a rasa, as a Dasya, one as a Vatsalya rasa, one as a Madhurya rasa, right? Various rasa, one is a Shanta rasa is there. So various rasas are there. One can understand that this body is matter or gross manifestation made up of 24 elements. Right? 24 elements are there. It is just matter, right? The subtle manifestation is the mind and the psychological effect. Symptoms of life are interaction of these features. But above all is the soul and the super soul. The soul and the super soul are two that we need to know, right? 6 questions it was asked in the first part, that what is Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnanam, Geyam. Krishna answers to 3, 4 and the field of activity, the knower of the field, right? Further answer question 5, which is Jnana, what is the process of knowledge and liberation? And he has 8 to 12 he answers in all the 4, that what is the Gyan, basically anything that is not mentioned in that shlokas are not Gyan, right? So he answers to the question of process of knowledge. The Jnanam he answers. Then the Krishna Pada answer question 6, Gayam, the object of knowledge. What is the Vishaya of knowledge? What is the object of knowledge? The Krishna is there. Then the Krishna answers 1 and 2, that Prakriti and Purusha and their union, right? Or what happens with their union, with their combination. Every activities, whatever we are seeing, that is just the field of activities and the super soul and the knower of the body, right? And then the last part, the Jnana Chakshu, vision of knowledge, is to know the soul, and that is the owner of the body, that the matter, and the and three modes of material nature. One who knows the soul, super modes, and three modes of material nature is the basically the vision of knowledge. That is the Jnana Chakshu. Hare Krishna. This chapter ends here. Any questions on this chapter, Hare Krishna?
Very deep chapter, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. It's a tough
Literally.
chapter actually, Mataji. It's a technical chapter. Lot of
Yes.
questions are there. It's pure, just knowledge is there. It's for the bhaktas, the bhaktas love only, give them, the knowledge which basically this knowledge also helps Mataji, because for if this knowledge is not there, then the why, then we will not come to know, easily understand that why, the process, what is the process, what is gyan, and what is actually gyan, what is the knowledge, one who is in knowledge, what he does, how he does, and again the question comes, right? How we need to act. Are we acting in knowledge or not in knowledge? Because one is doing a puja, one is doing everything, but he is not acting in knowledge, then he is becoming just a sahijya or something like that, right? So we need to act in knowledge. Without knowledge, bhakti is also, because the feeling will not come. Because if we had some feeling that we won't be reading Bhagavad Gita. Then we will be at the stage of already doing devotional service only. Since we are not doing, not having the feeling for the Lord, and we are not having, therefore we are not in the spiritual world. Therefore, we are not feeling bliss and that much bliss with at the aesthetic level, because we are still entangled with the material things. And for that, again and again, we need to read, and again and again, we need to try to come out of it, right? So we need to realize things. We have to develop feeling for the Krishna. Again, so every activity, like I yesterday said, every activity should be a bhajan kriya, daily activity. So we are not at that level. Gradually, it will come.
Prabhuji, but in this life, is it possible? I mean, will we ever reach that stage where like we
Mataji, if you asked me
experience,
yesterday, I was,
we
I
see
today.
everybody as soul and not as bodies, and see
That's
them
just
as
understanding, Mataji. That is the
how we
understanding
read it in
actually.
the chapter, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, Mataji. That is just an understanding, Mataji. That because once we know this, then you will know that, oh, yes, this Paramatma, there is, everything is acting out of the three modes. Because you can see there is Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. That you can differentiate, right? That is a practical example, right? The Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun, you can differentiate. The Krishna will tell you everything who is in Satoguna, how he is acting, what charity he is doing, what kind of activities he does, what kind of heat, how he walks, everything he will, what kind of austerities he does. Practical things he will say, that one who is in Satoguna, he will do this activity. One who is in Rajoguna will do this activity. One who is Tamoguna. So this is
Hare
practical, right?
Krishna, Prabhuji, you're not audible.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Still not audible, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yes, now we can hear you, Prabhuji.
Yes, actually, no. The the one who is, one, the Krishna will further tell the three modes of material nature. That one who is in satoguna, rajoguna, tamoguna, how he acts basically, right? How he acts, what kind of austerity he do, what kind of charity he do, what kind of penance one do, what kind of eating habits one has. So this is all practical, right? Practical things he one does, then you will be clarified, okay, this is practical, right? So you will come to know that yes, there is three modes of material nature. Then there is Paramatma. Why? Because the super consciousness, many times you have realized that super consciousness is saying something, right? Super consciousness, the Supreme Lord is saying something. If you follow that, the intuition, you have heard the word intuition, right? The intuition is just nothing but just the talking of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is saying something, right? With the intuition is saying, Supreme Lord is saying something, right? So that is supreme. So that you can realize the Supreme Lord is there. And so everything is practical. You can realize it and then you can act according to it. Once you start acting, the Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Sochiti Nagangshati, and they will become blissful, all blissful. Samoham Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Then comes the Samoham, and then the in the later chapters, in the 18th part chapter, we will Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Na Sochiti Nagangshati. You will not desire, not lament. This stage has to come, Mataji. But it is a gradual stage. We won't, the one who goes to the college, he don't take directly admission into the college and learn everything. He goes by every class and every, then the college, the various classes are there, various teachers are there, various coachings are there, then he goes to the college. It is a gradual process. If you ask in this lifetime, then in any lifetime, if you ask from any devotee, will he ever reach Krishna by perfection? He will say no, never. And I am also saying that never we will reach perfection, Mataji. And any life you will say this is perfection, you will never reach, Mataji. We can just go close to Krishna. Yesterday, today or yesterday, I was reading this article. Some Prabhuji had written that that there is an engineer and mathematician. Then they were asked that this much steps you have, and there is in the middle there is this cake. Okay, so with these steps, you need to reach that cake to eat it. The mathematician calculated the steps. He said that I cannot achieve it, so I'm not starting. The engineer started. Uh, he started with the steps, and he said that I won't be able to reach, but at least I will come close to the cake so that I can grab it to eat. Right. So that is our status, that we will not never reach perfection, Mataji. The bhakti yoga depends only on the mercy of the Lord and his devotees. That's why we depend on Srila Prabhupada. It is the
Hari
guarantee
bol,
of the Srila Prabhupada, Mataji. That's
Hari
why we are
bol,
taking
Hari bol, Hari bol.
yes, Mataji, because we are taking 16 malas only. If Srila Prabhupada have not told us to do 16 mala, then there was 64 malas, Mataji. Never
Yes.
we will reach. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say,
Mhm.
if one doesn't chant 64 mala, he is not even a Vaishnava. He used to
My
say
God.
that. So this is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada Maharaj, right?
Prabhuji,
Many,
one
many.
more thing. I always fail to understand, Prabhuji. There's no consistent. I'm talking about myself, Prabhuji. There's no consistency. I mean, I don't know what to focus on, the quality or the quantity, Prabhuji. I mean, the mind is always in this thing to finish it fast, finish it on time, because in today's busy world, we all 2 hours seems to be very long. So,
That
I,
that 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 prema Mataji, that bhav Mataji, actually, it will come gradually, Mataji. I am with post which I am now. It is a very hectic post. No one can in my post, can take out 2 hours time or 4 hours time. I now take out 4 hours time, at least 4 or 5 hours time for spiritual things, right? No one can take that out. But it is the mercy of the Lord that He arranges everything. It is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada also. Once you pray to the Guru Mataji, what happens? He arranges. You want some time for the spiritual things, na? He will arrange. Your heart will be, satisfied with, because what happens, Mataji? Once you start detaching from the material things, na, automatically time comes. The anukursa sankalpa. So whatever favorable things are there, you should imbibe it, right? Whatever cost it takes, Mataji. And pratikulasa vibhajam, that which is not good, then you should leave it, right? You should leave it. You should try to leave it, become detached. Automatically things will arrange, Mataji, because the spiritual things are the Yog Maya comes into play. For the devotees, Yog Maya comes into play, and for those non-devotee, Mahamaya plays the role.
Hare
So,
Krishna, Prabhuji. Not able to hear you.
still not even clear, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Is it audible, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, audible now, Prabhuji.
So basically, Mataji, what we need only the mercy of the Lord. You just pray, Mataji. Whenever these things come, Mataji, just pray to the Guru, just pray to the Lord. And when I was trying to have Diksha, Mataji, for a long time I was trying to have the Diksha, but it was not getting. But I prayed once to the Guru Maharaj. And within, I guess, within 6 days or 5 6 days, the call came, and I got Diksha.
Hari bol, Prabhuji. Hari
It
bol.
is very fast, Mataji. I was trying for it came around. I got in August, so started from February, Jan or February. It started 6 7 months it took. But once I prayed, Mataji, once I prayed, because then I came to realize that this bhakti yoga is actually practical. Because if we are not praying, then no bhakti is there. If we are thinking by my karma everything will be done, then we are very 100% wrong, Mataji. So only thing in bhakti yoga is the mercy, Mataji. To rely more on mercy rather than on yourself. Till now I have realized this much at least. So this much at least we can follow, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, your voice, Prabhuji.
It
Not
again
audible.
and again. Hare Krishna. Three your net. My voice is, I guess, continuous. Hare Krishna. Is it audible now?
Yes, Prabhuji, now it is.
So basically, Mataji, I am so saying that rely on more on mercy, Mataji. Just pray to the Lord. Just pray to your Guru. That's it, Mataji.
Hari bol, Prabhuji. Hari bol. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We need such motivation. Thank you so much for giving us this motivation, Prabhuji.
It's all the Kripa, Mataji. Just rely on mercy, Mataji.
Very true.
Hare Krishna. And the
Hare
class.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
पांचकल्पतरुवश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।